But sometimes I have to add, when you want something and you know it's for you and you work hard to get it, the satisfaction of getting that and achieving that, that's also part of the lesson.
Yeah.
So
but you're including your desires there. When you do something, you have to put a lot of effort in doing something that you don't desire. It's like, it feels like you're dead inside. you know when you
we have to pay
towards something that you want, you have more energy to work towards that.
For example, we have to pay taxes. Nobody has energy to do that. But yet again, you put energy into it to comply with that, and then you move on. But you learn how to move your economics in order to make the appropriate payments. And then those are other skills. And ultimately, we are here to learn multiple skills. And obviously, like they always say, people have sometimes more artistic than scientific, or they're more scientific or left brain or right brain. And that's where we have to learn that balance. Obviously, if you're more right brain than left brain, hey, move on with life and go enjoy it. But people who are more left brain, they have to learn how to be more right brain. So Mali, I wanted to ask you, are lawyers more left brain or right brain? Because I know lawyers who are like have a technical mindset like engineers, but ultimately, what are we, left brain or right brain?
The tendency, in my opinion, is to be left brain. But what I experienced myself is that when I started to learn the language of intuition, and I started to be aligned, to let go my rational view of the conflict, because I'm a mediator as well. And now you know that in mediation, we are studying as well quantum physics, because this theory that the observer is creating reality when he's observing reality by judging reality, because the observer is affecting reality in a subatomic way, like with your own thoughts. Like if I'm in mediation and I feel or I think that one of the parts has the right, or it's right, and the other one is not right, then I'm already affecting this quantic subatomic field.
Yeah.
So we when we are using our both brains, intuition or right brain and left brain, cases are solved quicker. In my experience, I saw cases that seem to be impossible by using this kind of new logic of using the right brain and letting things come in order, like synchronized. So very quick answers with new solutions to what it seemed to be a problem or seemed to be a conflict, and suddenly there's no conflict no more, because I stopped thinking that it was a conflict. So and I let some new opportunities come to order, a new order. And to be able to receive those new answers for conflicts, we have to be able to let go the past and all our beliefs and values for a while at least. To be functional to values. I cannot negotiate with a mafia capo di mafia from value. If I'm standing in values, because he doesn't have them, or he has other values. He can kill somebody and doesn't worry, and he's not worried about killing somebody probably. So I cannot talk to him about the value of life when we are negotiating. Or if somebody is stealing or is not honest, I cannot talk about honesty, because he's going to just use honesty like a weapon to be able to negotiate with me, but he will be functional and he will take advantage. So this, what I'm saying is like quite huge subject, because until now, even when they negotiate in wars between countries, they have to negotiate, and they started to talk about values, and they were confronting values, and there was no way out, because they would say like, my family is more important than your God, and your God is more important than my family, and they start discussing, and the new war came again. So when we let lose our values, and we are like in the present, open to listen to the other one's perspective of reality, and just integrate that reality, that perspective, our intelligence become wider. There is this author, Ken Wilber. He's American, and he's giving advice to lots of politics. And he's doing this study about social, economic, and ecological evolution, psychic evolution in society. And he says that his idea of intelligence is when somebody can integrate more perspectives of reality. So like now we have this conflict, like vaccinates, yes or no, no, or using a mask or not. And then, so we have this kind of, we are not tolerance, we have no tolerance to others in these subjects. But if we learn just to take a new perspective and just to be able to see things from that perspective of the one that has an opposite view, then we become wiser. It doesn't mean we are going to take that perspective, but at least we can widen or open our perspective and be more flexible to be able to serve this new huge wave of transformation we are living.
Isn't it ironic? I'm sharing this for both of you. You can also give your input on this, that as you've studied also in universities and in schools, that they teach us, yes, but they also say you have to think outside the box. And once you think outside the box, like, no, you're a rebel. You should stick to what we teach you. All right.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You want me to think in a different way to find a solution? But if I think the same way, we're going to keep with the same problems and not changing. That's why I like that citation that the world is made out of people. El mundo está hecho de inconformistas.
Yeah, the
non-conformists. But what you say is like, think outside of the box, but ultimately do as I say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen that in university. I've seen that at work. And then the people who are thinking outside the box are as you mentioned, like the mafia, all the people who are evil. What about the people who are good, who think outside the box? People who do good in society, like Mother Teresa or other people who do help heal people, do help children have a better future, and make them have the tools to overcome the difficulties, the barriers, the limited spectrum in the society in which we live in, and allow them to cohabitate within their own reality, in the reality in which we are as well. And I think in that sense, as we always speak, that there is a slight mind shift happening now, and more people are realizing that you can think otherwise. But the key is then taking the next step, moving that. One thing is, okay, I woke up from my dream, but now let's move, let's start walking. And that is going back to your first question, Mali, how was that leaping sideways from a career to another profession? It takes a lot of courage. It takes time. It takes a lot of will and a lot of
trust.
Trust, of course, but curiosity. You know, you have to be curious once again to explore and navigate through those new waters and realize that there's a whole world out there. I know people who they were engineers and then they studied law, completely different worlds, right? So in that sense, I know many people who didn't go completely into like a metaphysical or esoteric or whatever type of job, or healing or dealing with people. But I do know people who have changed from one profession to another, and having precisely a left brain to a right brain. And by allowing them explore those two different fields in their lives were key for them to better understand society or the world as a whole, and realize that, as you said, that neutral vision of seeing that A and B is in actual fact the same so we have to keep everything away from the table, which is our alter ego, and ultimately say, okay, let's, instead of fight, let's work together. And that is one of the things, as you may say, one of the gifts that I have received as being able to live and go to schools with more than 50 nationalities or 80 nationalities, learn their religion, learn their culture, learn their traditions, not learn their languages, obviously, but understand that there are different languages, different expressions, and realize that in the end, if we leave everything to one side, it's all the same. And problems are not there, but an element of how we were brought up, because maybe a conflict arises because one person was brought up to be trustworthy, honorable to his word or her word, versus the other person is like, no, I have to take advantage of the other person, always get the best out of it for my own sake. But if both of the people realize what the other person sees, and they realize that by working together, they both benefit from it. It's just like that image of the two donkeys that they put hay on in front of each one. One goes to the left, the other goes to the right, and they don't get the food. And then the strongest one pulls to his side, so the other donkey goes to that side, and they both eat one hay. And then they realize, oh, there's another one. Then they both go to the other side and they eat the other hay as well. So that's a clear example of when you cooperate, when you realize it, then you both benefit from it. And that in ultimate is what we all need, to find the mutual support in whatever fashion there may be, that we can support each other and bring all that knowledge for more people, just like we're doing right now.
Yeah. And I feel about what Mali was talking about intuition. We need to understand that intuition is something that we all have. It's like a lot of people this came to me when you were talking about like the school years and everything, and that they say like, you're not intuitive, you're not able to see how things are gonna work, you're not able to do like so many things, that they tell us that, and we believe it. We end up believing that, and then when you discover that, no, not only intuition is not only what they call a sixth sense, it's our first sense. It's like, it's what
it's a native language. It's a native language.
Yeah, the baby knows
mother language.
Yeah, they know what's to get its food, because they know that they have to go to the titty and that's gonna give me the food. Nobody put any program about that. It's just intuition. It's just intuition and that's what we need to be more, to observe it more, to know how it works, so we can like enhance it, and we can start working more from an intuitive side. That is our basic talent, that we have, and we can use it for everything. Because what I was saying at the beginning about that, when you have to work like so hard to get something, that you, in the depths of your soul, that maybe it's taking too much effort, because that's not the place that I have to be. That's not the thing that I have to do. So if we start trusting ourselves, all the other things will just arrange themselves as they should. We don't need to be like putting so much effort in anything. Just putting effort in not falling in all the thoughts and mandates they want us to program us. We need to, with this lunar eclipse, we need to help them to stay out of our lives. I don't mean like denying them and say, no, I don't care, I don't want to talk about that. It's just know what they're talking about, but I'm not going to give my energy there. I'm not going to put my focus in there. I'm just going to put the focus and the energy in the things that I feel it's right. It doesn't matter if someone says that is right or wrong. It just matters if I feel that is right or wrong in that particular situation, with that context and everything, because nothing is inherently good or bad. It's all about the perspectives, and we need to respect other people's perspectives, but we only gonna get to that place if we start respecting first ourselves, and knowing that we are intuitive beings, that we have a lot of information that we can use to as a GPS, like as we say, emotions are our guides, you know, and there are no emotions if there are no relationships. So we need to have the relationships to be able to see what emotions are triggered with what situations, and observe that and see what does that mean, and what does my intuition says. I have to get away from this situation. I have to face it. It's like you will know everything, but not from the head, just from the heart. So that's one of the things that I feel that we need to be practicing more and more, functioning from the heart. But I wanted to know about you, Mali. How was your journey?
How I arrived from decided in between psychology and law, and then starting a new profession. I left what I thought that it was not my passion, that was law. I couldn't enjoy it. I only did it because I thought I was going to make justice, and it didn't work. I always say, if it comes too late, then it's not justice. But then I started with counseling and this psychotherapy, like helping people to evolve and walking with them, for them to be able to contact themselves and finding their own way. And this is not imposing a way, but it's just putting a mirror for them to be able to see themselves and be able to feel whatever they need to feel, believe whatever they need to believe, and have the values they need to have, to be able then to recheck or check if they are functional or not, and if they are doing their maximum potential. So there is I follow this career that is counseling in Argentina. It's not called like in the States, it has to do with something else. I'm more like helping for personal development, and the theory is Carl Rogers. Yeah. He was in California, and he died already, but he was the author of this theory, and it works so well when I after a couple of years of practicing this new profession, like 30 years already, no, 20 years already or more, then I started discovering the unfolding of time theory and the double quantic theory, doubling theory of Jean-Pierre Garnier. And you will ask yourself, what the hell is that?
What is the quantum double? Please tell me.